I just wanted to take a few moments to talk about what I feel is the importance of comics in literature. I'm doing this because I hear a lot of discussion lately about basically comics just being kind of silly and pointless, and Batman is written off to being just a guy in a cape. And I respect those opinions, I really do. Everybody is totally entitled to their opinions. But I just think that it's a little bit underestimated how comics have been an important part of shaping an entire generation of future storytellers. As a kid reading comics, I always took the worlds of the comics very serious. Uh, I I found the characters to be very multi-dimensional, to have a lot of depth, and they've definitely influenced my writing, and I see their influence in a great many other writers. As I've said before, comics have shaped an entire generation, and it's really not so different when you think in terms of the Greeks. They had their own stories, their own fantastic tales. They had a woman with a hair of snakes that when she looked at you, she'd turn you to stone. And they had a Hercules who could, with superhuman strength. So even in the day of the Greeks, they believed in these type of superhuman individuals. So much, in fact, that they wanted to study these individuals, and in doing so, the Greeks created theater. They wanted to watch these tales acted out, and this would eventually lead to things like Shakespeare. But it stems from these mythical tales that the Greeks just wanted to explore. And in many ways, the theater that they created at the time is not so different than us watching Christian Bale and Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. So when you look at it from that standpoint, you do have to realize that these pulp tales can influence a great many people, and that influence can spread for many generations. I always appreciated the worlds that these characters lived in, and like I said, I took them very seriously. And the writing is actually very good. I don't think a lot of people appreciate that some of these comic book writers were able to really write some powerful stories and had a great use of language. This is a comic that I read when I was a kid, and it always left a huge impression on me. I just thought it was so well written even then, and I've always thought about it. And it definitely, you can see how something like this influences my writing to this day. So I'd like to just read a passage for you that I think is very, very powerful. And this is from Daredevil, and this is the opening of one of the issues. Is it possible that man was just an experiment that failed? We cast two shadows, the one that falls to the ground and is dragged along by our own feet, and the other that falls inwards, darkening our hearts. Evil is a real force, and it's going to have its way with some people. Where does the urge come from, the one that is cruel and hurtful? Is that the urge why so many choose to live, to be, to drink, alone? The stain that is our collective shadow, is that red darkness rising from our hearts and spreading? Are our own shadows dragging us down together, down, down under? Cross a line, make a deal. Perhaps there is no room left for redemption. Man had his moments. He was noble at times, but the experiment failed. The collective shadow creates something new. The world begins to burn and a red river begins to flow. That's some powerful stuff, and I would hold that writing honestly up to just about anything in literature as far as strength and intensity. People may not want to give it its due credit because it comes with pictures, but I think those pictures sometimes are very helpful in shaping a more powerful narrative. So, that's all I have to say this week.